I am always being told off for using bad language, but it's sort of lovely really, because it makes me think of my lovely dad, who was constantly shouting at me for bad language. I love stay-at-home dads. I think that is so brilliant. If I knew in my 20 seconds you could meet someone and have kids and he would be happy to be the one, the bringing up the children maybe, I would have done it. When No by Mouth was released, people thought that's what we were actually like, that they'd put me and Ray in front of the cameras and filmed what came out, no acting involved. Walking and Talking is my autobiography. It's best to do it that way, rather than spend months writing a book that then ends up in the bargain bucket with all the other idiots' autobiographies. With trans people, I just think you can't help the way you are born though. You know, it's DNA, it's genetics. I'm just glad people can do things about their own happiness. I think this thought process that they're trying to wipe out women is a bit ridiculous. It's a minority of people. If you were an actress in a film that had been nominated for 5 Oscars, including one for yourself, you would expect to have scripts landing on the doorstep. I can smell trouble miles away. People would think I wouldn't, like Noel Coward. I think he was the original punk in a lot of ways, you know, saucy, doing his own thing. I came onto Twitter in my 50 seconds, and I sort of think that was perfect. I am just a ranting old lady really, and I like it. I'm quite a cantankerous soul. People have this impression that I have a happy disposition, but I'm dark and cynical underneath. I remember the nuns used to swear quite a lot, so I think maybe it's picking it up from them. I was a very lame skinhead. I had to be in by 8:30 p.m., so I used to pretend that I had a baby sister. I had to go home and babysit. Growing up in the 70s, if you were a girl or woman, a man could tell you what to do. If you were sitting on the bus, get up, move, whatever, you did what you were told. But the more successful I became as an actor, the less control I had. I became more of a puppet, really. It certainly felt like that, at least. I have always believed that women should be allowed to do what they want to do. If we want equality, we shouldn't then expect to be praised just because we're doing a certain job. That's not equality. I'm quite a solitary person. I like being on my own. Because I didn't have a mom, she died when I was a baby. My dad was told by people in authority that it was best for me to go to a convent school. I had this laddish way about me with my deep voice and telling jokes all the time. I was Burke, the little fella in a skirt. I didn't really feel like a girly girl. I didn't want to wear boob tubes and flared trousers and disco clothes. Then when punk came along, it was like, oh, great, I can wear ripped jeans and manky t-shirts and flat caps. It was just perfect timing for me. I'm getting really fed up with the way that girls and women get portrayed a lot of the time. I do what I want to do and I see who I want to see. And when you get into your 40s, it's like being a teenager again really. Everyone else in their 40s thinks they can chat to you. I fell out of love with acting and in love with directing. It bloody annoys me when people forget that we're actors just because we tend to appear in things with our own accents, saying dialogue that comes naturally to us. People think we're just being ourselves. I didn't want to go anywhere because I hated being a woman. During my menopause, I was like, why am I a woman? I couldn't bear it. When I first decided to take off the tap shoes and concentrate on theater directing, Dominic Dromgoole got in touch to ask if I'd like to do something with Oxford Stage Company. My reaction was negative. I went through moody broody. Well, I met one person and I thought, if I am going to have a child with anybody, it is going to be with this guy. Anyway, it didn't happen because he had a girlfriend and I tried not to sleep with people if they had girlfriends. It can be seen as being quite selfish, but I'm very happy to be selfish. I'd always been dead against therapy. I didn't think you needed to pay someone to talk about yourself. I'm very much a person who walks on eggshells. From a very young age, I'd learned to put on a brave face. Because of losing my mom, I'd always make jokes if anybody tried to throw sympathy at me. I want to understand rites of passage I've never experienced, like motherhood. I had that C. difficile hospital bug that everyone is going on about. It was an experience. There's not much they can do. They just let you get on with it. It's a breakdown of the whole immune system. I get very excited by these hoity-toity directors with their bells and whistles, but I find simple storytelling done really well just as exciting. Your average director will be content with something that comes across as truthful, but we know as fellow actors that that's not great for a performer. They have to feel that what they're conveying is honest. It's very nice to be greeted in the street and all that, but I actually don't care what other people think of me. I've never been motivated by the money, always by the work. I thought, could I ever call myself ugly as a character? And it was like, yeah, I'd love to be able to say stuff like that. I had to prove that I could understand other aspects of human beings and not just little fat girls. I much prefer to meet actors that are really into the play rather than into the part. What I enjoy most about directing is the chance of working things out with the writer. Plus, I need their approval and I like the chat. I didn't want to work on dry, old plays written by the dry, old dead. I'm knocking on 50 and I'm still getting recognized for playing a 14-year-old boy. It makes me think I must still look great. I don't half love being in my 40s. You feel more grown up and can say no to things without feeling you're letting the whole team down. You don't have to worry about pleasing other people all the time. You just feel more comfortable in yourself. I'm happy to be selfish now. That's the beauty of getting older. I used to get defensive when people asked me, is it the control that you like about directing? I used to say, no, but now I'm older. I say, yeah, it absolutely is. I was losing the buzz of going on stage and getting a bit tired. I'm a good people manager, and I like that fact. I can draw out their performances. In fact, I didn't realize I was unattractive in inverted commas until I started acting. It was, oh no, you're not right for the part. We're looking for a pretty girl. If I get angry about stuff, I have to say I can use quite fruity language at times, which isn't to everyone's taste. When I'm with the people who love me, I feel buoyful. Once I was 13 and on the bus with me, mate Mary, when we passed this little bit of green where all the winos used to go, and it was a little bit embarrassing because I saw me dad there amongst them all. When it was bad, it was very bad. Money really is a dirty word. So if you see me popping up on Katz's countdown, you know Kath needs a bit of money. I'm a Lizzo fan these days. Oh my god. I mean, I wish she'd been around when I was young. I could have my hair really short. I didn't have to wear dresses. I could wear baggy old t-shirts and ripped trousers and monkey boots, and I was desirable to boys that were into the same stuff. I had mates who lived in tower blocks and I always hated seeing them because of the lifts. Yick, no, my god, so scary. Not having a mum was my thing. It came with a sort of fame. Other kids couldn't get their head around that, but looking back now, I'm quite proud about how I managed myself. I didn't end up sniffing glue or running away. I just got on with things. That's why I won't direct film or telly. I can't do those early mornings anymore. I will only direct theater because that starts at 9 in the morning. I'd probably go green because I am really worried about climate change and the planet. There's a great difference between innocence and ignorance. Sex education is absolutely important. Kids need to know about sex. Not having a mum is massive for a young girl, really. My heart's desire was freedom. 400 years ago, they'd have burned me as a witch or dunked me like a big biscuit. The stereotype is that if a woman doesn't have children, she doesn't like children. I really love kids. 2021 is my 40th year working in the industry, and I can't think of a better way to celebrate than directing. Holding. It's a beautiful piece of writing with a great story and fantastic, full-bodied characters. Imagine being the kids that don't get the job. You're just not beautiful enough. I'm afraid, my darling, now off you pop and be riddled with insecurities for the rest of your life. I must be the only actress in history who has been asked to be naked for untitillating reasons. Without meaning to sound Annie, men, ghastly women are the closest you get to a male role. Edinburgh is good Craig, a romantic and beautiful city. It's one of those places that makes me smile when I think about it. There are other places I would never dare go back to, but Edinburgh is very special. We only get one life, so my happiness is very important. The sad thing in this day and age is, kids have access to all sorts of horrible stuff on the internet, and they need to be taught the stuff about love and sex. Catherine Lucy Bridget Burke, born June 13, 1964, was born at the Royal Free Hospital, London, and was brought up in Islington, North London, by her Irish Catholic parents Patty and Bridget. She has 2 elder brothers. Her mother, known as Bridie, died of cancer when Burke was 2 years old. She lived with her father, a builder who was an alcoholic, and attended the Maria Fidelis Convent School, a secondary school in Euston, until she was 16 years old. She then studied at the Anna Theatre School in Islington. Kathy Burke is an English actress and comedian. She appeared in sketch shows such as French and Saunders 1988-1999, played a recurring role as Magda on the BBC sitcom Absolutely Fabulous 1999-2012, and performed frequent collaborations with fellow comedian Harry Enfield. From 1999 to 2001, she starred as Linda LaHughes on the BBC sitcom Gimme Gimme Gimme, for which she received a British Comedy Award and 2 BAFTA nominations. Burke made her film debut in the 1982 drama Scrubbers. For her portrayal of Valerie in the 1997 film Nil by Mouth, she won Best Actress at the Cannes Film Festival and was nominated for a BAFTA for Best Actress in a Leading Role. Her other film appearances include Sid and Nancy 1986, Dancing at Lunasa 1998, Elizabeth 1998, This Year's Love 1999, Kevin and Perry Go Large 2000, The Martins 2001, Anita and Me 2002, and Once Upon a Time in the Midlands 2002. Having spent most of the 2000s concentrating on her work as a theater director, she returned to film roles in the 2010s with Tinker Tailor, Soldier Spy 2011, Pan 2015, and Absolutely Fabulous, the movie 2016. Starting from 2019, Burke fronted a series of documentaries for Channel 4, Kathy Burke's All Woman 2019, Kathy Burke, Money Talks 2021, and Kathy Burke, Growing Up 2023.